Go. Hi, everybody. How are you? My name is Oriade Israeli. I'm a voice teacher and vocal coach, and I give a special treatment these days. I'm giving a free online sessions for group, so you can sign in. And today I'm gonna interview Ilana Michelson on stress and how stress is affecting us, especially those days when they're gonna again about lockdown, not lockdown. What should we do? How should we prepare ourselves, and how should we um, manage stress and relax into um, um, very relaxed being, and see how to contain all this situation.
Okay, my name is Ilana Michelson, and I am a stress expert. As my mentor Robert Smith likes to say, I can take away your stress and I can give you stress, whichever you choose.
Wow. Okay.
And I know that today's days, the whole world, not just in Israel where we live, are stressful. Because of the pandemic, no one quite knows what's going on. No one quite knows, is there going to be a cure? How long is it going to take? Everyone's talking about how the last pandemic took 2 years and thinking about 2 years of this going on with the mask and everything. That's kind of a stressful situation to think about, I would say.
Yeah.
And there are certain techniques which are very helpful in releasing stress so that you don't have that stress and you can continue leading life as normal as you can. So if you have any specific questions, ask them first, and then we'll get into a technique and we'll show how we can release the stress.
Okay. I really would like to get into how stress affects our voice and how the voice can be actually almost be ruined by stress, and we could lose almost half of our abilities vocally wise. So it's a really heart of the matter for singers and
So you want to talk about the
professional.
technical parts?
What?
Would you like to explain the technical parts of that? Because I can certainly explain about it in terms of the fight, flight, or freeze reflex that people tend to have when they're under stress situations, but that doesn't actually get into the technical parts that a voice coach would know.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I can say in about one sentence is that our voice is reflecting our body. And when our body is in stress, the voice is completely affected and reacting to this stress. So I know it's a mental and emotional holistic effect. And if you can and want to explain more about that, it would be great.
Okay, so first let me just give you a small example. I know for myself in specific, and for many of my clients, when we get onto certain topics that we're working on, we start coughing. And we can't control this cough. It just comes out. And what it generally means is that there's things that are stuck in our throat that we need to let out.
Wow.
And that we've been holding in for sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes even years from our childhood. It often happens when you had parents who, I don't know, I mean, I know that my parents come from the old school where children should be seen and not heard. And I wasn't really given a voice to what I wanted to say when I was younger. Not because they didn't love me, just because that was the school thought that they had in those days.
Wow.
They did love me, and they do love me very much. But their form of parenting was a very old school form of parenting, and it kind of stifled me to the point where I was literally stifled in terms of actually speaking. And I know that many people who have gone through this, when I work with them, and I ask them, where is this feeling? Where do you feel it? The first place they go is the throat.
Wow. Amazing.
And their throat feels constricted. And as we do the work, it loosens up.
Wow.
And, we're talking over here about stress that's been building up for years and years and years. But when you're in a situation like this, a pandemic, where you don't know what to do, you know that your life could be on the line, because even though it's, mostly people who are in the higher risk groups who are affected by it badly and can be hospitalized and die from it, there have been a few cases of young people who are totally healthy who have also been very affected by it and who have died from it. And so it leaves us in this helpless situation, which is something akin to that fight, flight, or freeze response, which if you meet a bear in the middle of the street and you don't know what to do, you have three things you can do. Either you can freeze and you kind of pretend that you're not there and hope the bear doesn't notice you, or you can fight, which is not always the smartest idea when you're talking about a bear, or you can run. Now, in the case of here, we're kind of given to us what we have to do, which is stay in your house, wear the masks, which, by the way, is also an obstruction. Wearing the mask is like, don't talk, don't open your mouth.
Yeah, and even worse, they say the ABC of the being a doctor and saving someone in stress is A is airways, B is breathing, and the C is, I don't remember what was the C, but it was air and breathing and maybe circulation, like let the make sure that the organs are not tight, and open any belt you have and anything that's tightening the body.
Constriction.
Maybe constriction, yeah. So
Right.
yeah, so that's the
So,
ABC of every situation when you're in stress. That's the
so
very
here we have
basic
a
stuff.
situation where you're being told, wear a mask, don't go outside, don't move too much, don't hug, don't talk too much, because it's hard to talk with the mask on. And it's kind of you're putting us into a freeze situation where, okay, what can we do? And when you're in that situation, literally, when you're in that situation, the fact that the throat gets constricted, there's no, I would be surprised if it didn't get constricted.
Yeah.
You're not breathing properly. You're not talking to each other normally. You're talking through, have you ever tried taking a walk with a mask on?
No,
It's
I
not
don't do it.
easy.
No, I don't. When I'm going to walk, I put the mask off and just breathe freely.
There was someone who I think actually was hospitalized because he was jogging with the mask on and didn't get enough oxygen.
That's stupidity. I'm sorry. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So it's not really a big surprise that people are under stress. It's like it's coerced stress, even though they're doing it for a reason because they want to keep us safe, but it's still a type of coerced stress, physical stress, not just mental and emotional stress.
Right.
And one of the best ways to release that type of stress, it's a book that I just read called Just Breathe, is actual breathing. When you're at home and you're not wearing your mask, just practice your breathing techniques. There are many different breathing techniques that you can use. I think one of the simplest ones and the ones that are supposed to put you into coherence is when you breathe in to the count of 5, and then breathe out to the count of 5.
Yes, actually, let's do a few breaths together.
And just to give you an idea what that means, it means breathing in and out 6 times a minute, which I think is much slower than what you would do normally, and much, much smaller than what happens when you're under stress, because people under stress tend to start going as opposed to breathing normally.
Right.
And that is also one of the techniques I use with clients who come in who are so stressed out. I just say, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Close your eyes, just breathe in to the count of 5, and I count for them, and breathe out to the count of 5, and I count to them.
Right.
And that brings them back to the present moment. Because if you think about what's happening in the present moment right now, nothing's happening in the present moment right now. Everything is okay. Everything is fine in the present moment right now. So let's do some exercises of breathing. I'm going to count them here with my fingers so you can see. Okay. The first time when I count to 5, we'll be breathing in. Second time I count to 5, we'll be breathing out.
Okay. Let's do.
Okay. And this is something that people don't often know how to breathe properly. When you breathe and you put your hand on your stomach, you should feel your stomach pop out. When you breathe in out, you should feel your stomach go back in. Okay, it's not the chest that goes in and out, it's the stomach that goes in and out. That's the proper way to breathe.
Another one?
Okay, that was approximately a minute of breathing.
Amazing. Fun.
And it puts you back into the present moment. This goes also for any of you who are into mindfulness. This is exactly what you do in mindfulness. You focus on your breathing, and when you're focusing on your breathing, your mind cannot focus on 2 thoughts at the same time. Doesn't work. One thought can be in the background, but you're not really focusing on it. If you're focusing on your breathing, that's what you're focusing on. When you focus on your breathing, you realize nothing else is happening around you. You get control of your body, your mind, your spirit, and your soul.
Wow. Amazing. Great. Very great. Thank you.
And I am sure, Oria, that when you teach people about going on stage, when they do the breathing before they start to sing or perform, what does it do for them?
Exactly, yeah. Actually, when we go, before we go on stage, I really recommend do some, even 5 to 10 minutes of stretches. Start even just like that. Hold your hands up, pick them up, breathe deeply, and then I will do 5 breaths like this. And I'll do side stretch, breathe to the open side. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. And release, and breathe, breathe, breathe. And release, and then again come forward. Round your back, backwards, forward. And then I'll do some, jumps on spot, just jumping for 3 minutes to make all the,
the blood move,
blood
circulation.
And also the breathing system is starting to breathe more intensively. And what it does, it really calms all the nerve system. Really work great. Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is that if your throat is constricted, you can't be breathing properly.
Right.
Which means that the moment you set yourself to breathe properly, to breathe in and out slowly and focus on the breathing, you're automatically releasing any constriction in your throat and the stress that's related to it. And I think that in today's pandemic, there's a lot of people who feel that they don't have a say in what's going on and what's happening. And whether that's a good thing or not a good thing, I'm not going to argue over here because I'm not an expert on pandemics. I'm not an expert on viral movement. So I can't say whether what I think is right or wrong. But whether I think it or not, I don't have the voice to voice it out in front of everybody else because that's what the government decreed.
Yeah.
And so there's a certain level of, between the masks that we have to wear and the fact that we're not allowed to open our mouths and say something, we're automatically being constricted in our throat area. And the breathing and the being constricted in the throat area is the stress. The breathing releases that stress and opens up that constriction and allows the airways to breathe easier.
Amazing. Right. Okay. So thank you, Ilana. Do you want to give any, any gift or anything special for today?
Well, right now I am offering couple therapy.
Oh.
So if anyone goes to my site and signs up, they will get a free report on 3 ways to improve your relationship. And improving your relationship can be true for whether you're in a couple, whatever type of couple you are, be it man-man, woman-woman, man-woman, but you can also use it for any relationship such as mother-child, or you and your parent, and you or your friend. It doesn't make a difference. All the different relationship tips work for all of people. I'm specifically working on couples right now, but it can be used for any relationship that you're in that you want to improve. They're very simple tips to implement. Things that I think are very powerful. Sometimes the most powerful things are the simplest things, such as the breathing exercise we just did right now, which is extremely powerful. Don't belittle it just because it seems something so simple and so natural that we do. It's an extremely powerful technique. And the 3 tips that I give are also extremely powerful ones. So if you head on over to my site, very easy to remember, it's IlanaMichelson.com, my name. You'll get the little box to sign up and get the free report. So you're welcome to do that. With pleasure.
Very nice. Okay, so and we'll put it in the description below on YouTube or on Facebook and
right.
Comment or whatever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very excited.
And you can also give some sort of gift. Oh yes, the free course you were giving. Yes.
Yes, I'm giving a free online group vocal training, and it's restricted for just a few people, and we do it maybe twice or 3 times. It's very, it's a very narrow thing, but each one it's a personal coaching in front of a group. So everybody's getting coached personally, but all the others are listening and learning while it's happening.
And I can personally recommend Oria. I still do exercises. She worked with me for a while, and I still do exercises that she gave me every time before I start speaking on a video.
Amazing.
So,
amazing. Thank you. Really amazing.
And I can feel the difference in my voice.
Wow. Amazing. Great. So thank you, Ilana, for all the tips and all the great work you've been doing.
Thank you. Okay. And we'll be seeing each other.
Yeah, we'll do another.
And if you have any comments, any questions you have, we'd be more than happy to respond to them. Write it down below over there in the comment section.
Exactly. We want to hear from each and every one of you. So whatever it works for you and how it works for you, just share with us.
And if you have any specific types of stress you'd like us to deal with, if you have any specific situations you'd like us to deal with, just write it down below, and we'll be happy to deal with it.
Definitely. Okay. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.